John Wick Chapter 4, presented to you by the Movie Junkie. The movie starts with Bowery King visiting John Wick, who was training alone. Bowery had a suit in his hand and asked him if he was ready. John replied with a simple yes. In the next scene, somewhere in a desert, some members of Elder are riding horses, trying to run away from John, who was after them. One by one, he killed them all. Then he visited the mafia boss Elder and asked for his freedom. Elder was an even bigger deal than the High Table. He explained that if John Wick killed Elder, he could never have what he wanted. He refused to give John his freedom, saying that we cannot escape from who we are. John shot him. In a hotel in New York, one of the men of High Table visited Winston and gave him a message. Winston was called to meet Marcus, who was now the head of the High Table after the death of the Elder. Marcus had given him 1 hour of his precious time. He arrived with Karen. Earlier, Marcus had ordered Winston to kill John Wick, but he had obviously failed to do so, which was why Winston was stressed. Marcus did not believe in second chances. After the hour was over, Winston's hotel blew up and Marcus shot Karen. Winston held his best friend's hand and watched him die. Over in Paris, Marcus met with Kane. Kane was a trained assassin and an old friend of John Wick. Due to his past encounters, he was now blind. Kane told Marcus that he had retired and could no longer serve anyone. Marcus threatened to kill his daughter if he did not go through with killing Wick. In the Osaka Continental, a man named Tracker and his dog arrive and book a room. Tracker had a diary full of John's portraits. John Wick was a wanted man with a big prize on his head. Shimazu Koji was the owner of the hotel and a friend of John's. He met John Wick on the hotel roof and told him about what had happened with Winston. While they were talking, a few men from the High Table visited and asked for John Wick. Akira, who was Shimazu's daughter, called him. She was scared for her father. Shimazu alerted his men for defense before going towards the lobby. They asked to search the hotel as they had a hint that John Wick residing there. Shimazu agreed but asked them to leave their weapons as it was against his hotel policy. Kane conversed with Shimazu. He was disappointed at Kane, who had forgotten the meaning of brotherhood and loyalty, but no one defies the High Table. With a click of a button, the lights went out as Shimazu's men targeted the enemy with weapons pointing toward them. They started fighting to get to John Wick, who was on the roof with Akira. Soon the men made their way to the roof. During the fight, Akira got shot. Shimazu helped his daughter and guided John to a secret passageway from where he could safely leave. On his way, John met Kane. He said that he understood Kane's position and that he was helpless in front of the High Table. John had many opportunities to kill Kane while they were fighting, but he did not pull the trigger. Tracker was hiding with his target on John. He started shooting. Both John and Kane escaped him. Tracker was face to face with John, but he got distracted as the price on John's head went up, giving John a chance to escape death again. Kane had killed all of Shimazu's men, and only him and his daughter were left. He asked him to leave with Akira. He did not back away from a fight. They had an intense fight sequence, leaving Shimazu died in his daughter's arms. Kane allowed Akira to escape. He said that he would wait for the day she will find him for revenge for her father's murder. Bowery and Winston met after a long time. They talked about getting revenge on the High Table. On the other hand, Marcus made a deal with Tracker to kill John Wick. For this he would pay him $25 million. Meanwhile, John met Winston and expressed his sadness for the death of Karen. John also showed him a pin he had taken from one of Marcus's men while he was fighting them. Winston updated John regarding the new head of the High Table and how he was after John's head. Before John left on a mission to kill Marcus, Winston suggested that he should challenge Marcus to a fight, defeat him, and finally get his freedom. After this, John visited a church where he asked to meet his sister. The father shot him. When John woke up, he was tied to a stage in the center. His stepsister Katia showed up. She was angry at him. He had caused a lot of deaths, including their fathers. John wanted to get back with his family and was willing to do anything for it. He told his sister about his plan to challenge the High Table. She gave him an ultimatum. He had to kill a man of the High Table called Killer. Once he got rid of him, he would be allowed back into the family. John went to visit Killer and saw Kane and Tracker were already there. Killer offered to play cards, and here John struck him with one of the cards. Killer's men rushed to kill John. Both Tracker and Kane killed them, and Killer ran away from there. After a long cat-and-mouse chase, John finally got Killer. He killed him and took out one of his teeth as evidence. He gave the tooth to his sister. Both brother and sister performed a ritual that involved burning their family name in their arms. He was now back in the family. Winston visited Marcus and informed him about John Wick. He was now back with his family and was going to challenge Marcus to a duel fight. John wanted an unconditional release from all the obligations of the table. Marcus accepted this challenge and told him that John may make all the rules of this fight. Winston also demanded his hotel back if John won. Marcus agreed to this as well. The next day John visited Marcus. An operator from the high table set the terms. Whoever picked the biggest number would be given one choice to make. Both Marcus and John decided on a duel by pistols at sunrise. In the end, Marcus nominated Kane in his place. Their fight was set. If any one of them failed to show up, they would be immediately executed. If John survived, he would get what he has promised, otherwise he would be killed. Later, John met Bowery and Winston. Bowery gave him a suit and a pistol for his duel. Marcus had increased the price on John's head, causing a lot of people to come after him. John got away every time. Tracker located John and called Marcus. He asked to increase the price to 40 million, to which Marcus agreed. Tracker killed all the other assassins who had come to kill John. He wanted all the money for himself. While they were firing at each other, Marcus's guard Chidi came, and Tracker's dog attacked him. Chidi was about to shoot the dog when John shot and killed him. Tracker saw this and stopped firing bullets at him. John had a few minutes before the fight. He was thoroughly exhausted and tired. He made his way to the top, where the fight was set. When he got there, he saw Chidi and other men, who pushed him down the stairs. Kane also arrived for his fight. Instead of shooting John, he offered him a hand and helped him get up. Once again, Chidi had a direct target at John. He was about to shoot him when Tracker shot him first and killed him. At sunrise, Kane and John got to their positions. In the first round, John got shot in the arm and Kane on his hand. In the next, both of them got badly injured again. In the third round, Kane shot John first, and he fell down. Marcus switched positions with Kane as he wanted to kill John himself. As he was about to shoot, Winston laughed. John still had a bullet in his gun. He shot Marcus right between his eyes, killing him. The operator declared John Wick free. John Wick was bleeding heavily. He got flashbacks of the time he spent with his wife. In the next scene, Winston and Bowery are shown standing in front of John Wick's grave, who was buried next to his wife. In the post-credit scene, Kane was shown visiting his daughter. He was followed by Akira, who was there to get her revenge. This is where the movie ends. This was a complete breakdown of the latest movie John Wick Chapter 4.